making great prompts in Rubi Virtual Studio. Now, if you're new, Virtual Studio encompasses all the media pieces, right? It's the image lab, the voice lab, the video lab, and Ruby Music. All of those are part of the Virtual Studio where you can come in and really have your creative suite to create just anything that you could possibly think of. But if you want to get the things that you're thinking of, you got to know a little bit more about how to prompt. I think there's also a mindset that has to go in if you're new to AI. The one thing that you need to know, just getting into it to set expectations, is that AI isn't like 100% guaranteed that it's going to give you the exact thing that you're looking for every single time, the very first time. Sometimes it's a process. It's about taking a prompt and then expanding that prompt out to get exactly what it is that you're looking for. However, the better you are at setting the first prompt, the less reiterations that you're going to need to kind of get it perfect. Okay, so that's what we're going to hopefully do today, is we're going to bring this information to you. So yes, this is recorded. Yes, it's up there. You can go back and reference it, but I like for people to kind of follow along or to be able to just take notes, because I think it's something you're going to be referencing back to. So let's start. And let's start with the image that you have on your screen right now. So this is an image that's created in Midjourney. But I'm going to show you how you don't have to use Midjourney to get incredible things. If you want the best photorealistic photos right now, that is Midjourney. Bar none, it's the best. And it costs more. There's 4 credits. And if you use Turbo, which honestly, there's no real purpose. I mean, you can sit and wait, an extra 15 or 20 seconds. There's really no reason to double the cost to use Turbo. But for reality, if you want the best photorealistic images, Midjourney is going to give that to you without having the best perfect prompts. Now, you're also going to see that in Midjourney that it costs more, but you get 4 images to choose from, and then you can do variations and upscales after you've got those. And we'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. I'll walk you through some of the new stuff. But let's start talking about the prompts first. So let's just take a look at the prompt that created this. So here's the prompt. It's a woman with long flowing red hair stands in a golden wheat field wearing a vintage white lace dress. She faces away from the camera, gazing at a distant white farmhouse under a vast blue sky of wispy clouds. The scene exudes a sense of nostalgia, freedom, and connection to nature. It's a photorealistic style with warm golden hour lighting and shallow depth of field. Now, if you're not writing prompts like this, you're writing woman standing in field, then you're not necessarily going to get exactly what you're looking for. So this is why we want to break down how to structure the right prompt for creating images. Now, it doesn't matter, again, if you are looking at doing this on Dall-E-3, SDXL, Leonardo Ai, or Midjourney. These are all key pieces that need to be in a prompt to get you the best results. So let's break it down, and I call this the essence of detail. So let's talk about the structure and the essence of detail that you should be putting into your prompts to get the best result. The first thing I like to talk about is the subject. So you have to have a subject. Now that subject can be several different things. It could be a character. It could be an object. It could just be the scene itself. But you need to have a subject. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the prompt that we have, and I'm going to show you how that actually affects each one of these pieces of the prompt. So our subject in this prompt is a woman with long flowing red hair. So that's my subject part of the prompt that we've already put there. Now, the second thing that you have to have in all of your prompts is you need to have detailed imagery. Like, how do you really want this to be in the details? And you can see that here in this prompt, she's wearing a vintage white lace dress. Okay, so now I'm putting the vision in from my mind into the prompt so that I can make sure that I'm getting what I'm actually visioning in my head that I want. Now, the third thing is you need to have the environmental description. So there's several of those here in this prompt. Stands in a golden wheat field. Okay, so I've already put them there, and you can see the adjectives. Golden. That means that, you know, it's that whole, like, I don't want them in a green field. I want them in a golden field. Okay, a distant white farmhouse, and then I'm going to describe the clouds, and I will describe the sky. So now I've got a vast blue sky and wispy clouds. Now you might want it in storm with storm clouds and maybe lightning in the background. Again, it's whatever is in your mind. Just take an image of it and then start to describe it using as many adjectives as you can to really explain what it is that you're seeing. Okay. The fourth thing that you need to make sure is in your prompt is you need to have the mood or the atmosphere. Here you'll see that the scene exudes a sense of nostalgia, freedom, and connection in nature. What is the mood that you want this image to sit in? What's the atmosphere? Maybe you're doing something where it's over a mythical city, or you could put it over an urban city that is, apocalyptic. You can go and do whatever it is, but you're setting the mood and the atmosphere. So you have your subject, you have your detailed imagery, your environmental description, and then your mood and atmosphere. The fifth thing that you need is you need to set the artistic style. Okay, so this one here is photorealistic. I want the image to be photorealistic. So I'm setting that up and how I want to do it. Now, some of that, the style, can actually be used with presets and models. And I'm going to show you just in a second how models can change very quickly the way that you see it. So you don't necessarily have to put that into a prompt if you have models. Inside of Midjourney, for instance, we have presets, freestyle, and character creation, or even portraits, photorealistic portraits. So these add the details for whatever it is that you're trying to go already. You don't have to do that. In fact, those models go way deeper into what it is that they're trying to create. And the sixth and final thing that you need in a prompt is the style execution. And that's in the very last sentence here, with warm, golden hour lighting, and a shallow depth of field. Now that also can include the camera angle, right? So how do I want that camera angle? Do I want it low, shooting up? Do I want it from behind and at head level? Or do I want it from a really high looking down, like a drone view of looking down at the person in the field with the house? So you decide how it is that you see it by describing the angles and the lighting and the depth of field. If we didn't have shallow depth of field, then I might see that house in the background is actually pretty in focus, but I didn't want it in focus. I wanted it to be blurred out. And so I'm going to give you a shallow depth of field. Now, I will say from the very beginning of using AI, you have to understand that even though you put everything in structure and you have it exactly how it is in your mind, it may not be exactly perfect. And that's where you can go and you tweak it. But the better you are at getting this structure at the very beginning of what your creations are, the less credits you'll use because you have less reiterations. And if you do it right, you might just be surprised what you end up with. And it might just be good enough the first time. And so here's the Midjourney version of that. I use freestyle. A woman with long, flowing red hair stands in a golden wheat field wearing a vintage white lace dress. She faces away from the camera, gazing at a distant white farmhouse under a vast blue sky. and wispy clouds. Now, notice that I didn't stick in the photorealistic part because in Midjourney, that's not really required. In fact, it doesn't always work great anyway, so I can use a preset. But what I'm describing is already a photorealistic way of looking at it inside of Midjourney. Now, I didn't put a camera angle here, but I could have, and I probably should have. And I could have put in depth of field, but this gives me 4 different images. And so I may want to look at things a little bit differently and choose. And so I didn't put this specifically in on the depth of field because sometimes you get 4 different views from Midjourney, and then I can choose. So this is kind of a way to help you kind of just look at how you go about building your prompts inside of Rubi Ai. Now, I'm going to jump over, and while we're doing this, let me jump over to, I have to stop this share and jump into the actual Rubi. Let me do this. Corey, how's everything going this morning, by the way? I didn't say hi to you this morning. How are you?
Good. Excellent.
Everybody doing in our chat today?
Love that. I love that prompt, that structure. They're asking for screenshots in the chat. I think that'd be something great to share in the Flex connection.
Yeah. So I think what we'll do is I'm just going to send this out as a PDF file with all the slides, and they can bring that right into their structure. How's that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's do this. Let's kind of go through a couple of things. Since we're dealing with the imagery, I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit bigger for you all to see. Let me see. Same point in time, I don't want to make it where I can't see you guys. Okay, so let's go into the virtual studio. Let's go to the image lab. And in the image lab, a couple of things are new, by the way. If you guys have been playing with this since last night, we did an update last night, a deployment last night, and I'm going to actually go through some of those new changes here this morning as well. But in our image gallery, if you don't know what this is, on the far right side, you'll see this colorful tab that's just kind of sticking out there. That's where you get to your image gallery. And instead of having to go to a whole different page, you actually can just click on the button and it will open up the images that you have created. Okay. And now you can kind of, go through them and see them, and they load a lot faster now. So if you are new into just kind of looking at this, this is the user experience is incredible. And as you're using it more now and putting new images in, it's even faster in the way that we're actually processing the pictures. Now, once you're in the gallery, you also have the ability to just click on an image, and that image is going to bring a detail, and it's going to tell you what the prompt was. It's going to tell you which image engine you're using. So this was generated by Midjourney, and it's going to give you the date that it was generated. And then you're also going to be able to copy the prompt and use it again. And what's great about it is if I copy the prompt, I can just slide my window out of the way and push it right back in, right? So I don't have to go and do anything. I can actually leave what I'm actually doing as well. Let's say I'm building these images and I'm doing different iterations. So you can see I have like several of these, and I wouldn't have to leave and come back. I can just slide the window up and down anytime I want to and see them and compare them and see if I've got the right one. Now, while you're also in here, you'll see these little white buttons. When you click these, they will highlight blue. That gives you the bulk action to be able to delete multiple ones at the same time. And you would just choose that and hit apply. And everything that would be highlighted would be deleted. Okay, so it's an easy way to kind of clean up some of your stuff. Now, anytime that you click on these, you'll be able to go in and look at them. And if you want to see the bigger version, you just click view. And it's going to pull that image up so you can see it. And if you want to hit download, you just download it and boom, it's done. Okay, so very easy to get around and to play with your images and whatever else. But I want to go now into what actually we can deal together here. And I want to go into Leonardo AI. And I want to actually go back and I want to grab this prompt real quick because this is the prompt that we use to create these images. And I want to talk about models for just a second. I told you before that the models will help you create that photorealistic styles or, all the lighting and that kind of stuff And so let's use this prompt. It's very similar to the one that we were talking about earlier. It's a red-haired country girl with a bright smile, wearing a plaid shirt and denim overalls, sits in the back of a rusty pickup truck. Okay, now if I do this down here with my Leonardo Anime XL, okay, so I'm just going to use it with the anime. I also can choose from a style, and there's lots of different styles, and these are to help guide you to whatever it is you're working for. Now, dynamic is the default. I'm actually going to go with like a cinematic close-up. Okay, so I want it to be kind of a close-up of whatever it is. And then you have your image sizes, and you can do verticals, or you can portrait views if you're going to go into, let's say, social media platforms that need a portrait, maybe like Instagram. I'm going to go with 1024 by 1024. Now you can also choose how many images you want. Okay, so you can go up to 4 different images. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do one image, and I'm just going to generate it. Now, the great thing about Leonardo AI, Dall-E-3, and SDXL is that they're fast. Okay, it only costs a credit, and you can see that I can get what I'm looking for. But why is it so cartoony? Well, that's because of the model that I chose. I chose to use the Anime XL. Okay, so that's what that model is all about. It's going to create me a cartoon type of model. Now, if I wanted to go back and I wanted to use it, though, let's say with a photorealistic one, I can do that with my Lighting XL, and I can just change one thing, nothing in the prompt, just changing in my model. I can actually get a completely different version of what that prompt will look like. And these are the things that you can play with as you're starting to go and learn. And you can see now I've got a photorealistic version of her in the back of a rusty pickup truck that's missing the front, right? But you can keep playing around with this over and over until you kind of get what it is that you're looking for. And it doesn't really matter, what size of these things that you're going to be creating. It's just whatever you're going to be using it for, that's what it is. Now, I like to go with the highest resolution, and I can always make it smaller later. But that's just totally up to you guys and what you choose to do. And so just realize that when you're choosing all of these different pictures and images and stuff like that, the models do make a big difference. And it's just about learning them. And for people who are saying, well, I just want to be able to go and do it right the first time, you got to start to understand how AI works. And that is to find the ones that you understand there's a learning curve in everything. And so just understand that there is a learning capability that you'll have to go through. And it's the same in all of these, whether you're using Midjourney, which I believe Midjourney gives you the best options to do that. But SDXL does the same thing. It gives you models that you can kind of use that we've simplified them. So, I mean, I don't even know what this one will look like, but we can use the exact same prompt here with SDXL and just kind of see what we're going to get with that. But I do know that if I want the perfect, best photorealistic image, I'm going to go and I'm going to spend a little few more credits, but I'm also going to make sure that I get, and again, this is just Dynavision, so it's kind of cartoony. You can go into something that's going to give you more photorealistic stuff. I'm going to go in and I'm probably going to use Midjourney if I want the best photorealistic one. That's just the way I would do it. And you have all these capabilities inside of the Image Lab just for that purpose. You might find something that you can do in one of the other engines, but you're going to find which one's best for whatever you're trying to create. And yes, it takes a little trial and error to go through the process of doing this. And so spend a little time in learning, how these prompts function. Now, if you're looking at speed, Dall-E-3, Leonardo AI, SDXL, they are the quickest ones to come up with these images. And so you'll be able to do things pretty quick that way. A couple of things I do want to kind of go through with the ability of just using and switching between all of these is the ability of using some of the new things that we've added to help build along this process. So I'm going to actually jump back over here to Midjourney real quick. And you'll see that there's a little wand on all of these new things that we're doing. You see this little wand down here. If you see a prompt box or you see a text field, it doesn't matter where it is, wherever that is. And by the way, you see this, how it's, you don't have to stay on the page, guys. This is all happening in the background. So you can go and create another image. You don't have to stay there and wait for that image. And if all of you want to do is to find it, just jump back in and you'll see that there is your image that was created. Okay. And you can go and use it from there. So this is all happening in the background. You can keep moving faster and faster through your work. And you can go get 2 or 3 of them started at the same time. Okay. But in this process, you're going to see something called Rubi Assistant, and you can drag it around wherever you want to put it. But essentially, this is bringing IntelliChat to anywhere inside of the platform. So if you need to write something, a description for something, or if you want to help get a prompt, it's really easy. You can also choose from all of our models right from the Rubi Assistant. So let's say I want to use Gemini Pro, write a concise image prompt for a apple on a desk with bokeh lighting. Okay, so now I've got it sitting here. I'm just going to have it go and write it. Now, one more thing that's new, and this will be incorporated throughout all of the places that we have copy and paste. You'll see down in the results. Okay, I have my prompt. You'll see that I have a retry. That just takes that same prompt that's up here and reruns it again. Now, you also are going to see that I can rephrase it, I can shorten it, or I can expand it. Just for the single button, I'll be able to do that. And you'll see this insert. So this is what insert does. If I click insert, essentially it's copying this, what's in this box for me. Now, anywhere I place my cursor, it's going to place that into my document. Now, if I'm in the editors and I'm seeing stuff in the editors and I want to put it in the background, well, then I could do that as well. I can come in and I can push it at the end of anywhere in the document, right? So this will be a one-click way of copying and pasting throughout the platform. But it's stuck into Rubi Assistant right now. And if I wanted to look what this prompt looked like on GPT-4, I literally can just flip it and have it retry. And now I'm going to get it in 4.0. You guys can go through and change prompts so quick to get this thing really quick, right? And then you can go and see what it looks like. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to close this because it's going to keep the information that I need. I'm actually going to just do it in a small one here. Let's go ahead and run it on Dall-E-3 and just see what we end up with, because it's pretty quick. And so we're 28 minutes in, 29 minutes in. I'm gonna go ahead and expand this out. We're going to talk about music here in a minute, so hang on. Corey, if you'll get ready for the Rubi music, let's do that. But you know, if I just wanted a picture of an apple on the bokeh lighting, what this is called bokeh lighting, by the way, where you kind of got like the little lights that are kind of blurred out, called bokeh lighting, so you can kind of get some of that. So now I've got this, but let's go and see what it looks like now if I use the prompt that came from 4.0 on GPT. So I'm just going to hit generate, and we're going to do this again. and this is how quick you can go and try different things, improve on the prompts, ask for help on the prompts, and just kind of walk through. And so here's the prompt that we have now. I actually like this one a lot better, right? And so what's great about this is this is how you can really start to improve on how things work inside of the images. So I hope you all love this part of it, because this is really a huge part. You'll see Rubi Assistant everywhere. If I am in prompts and I want to go and create a new prompt, oh, they don't have it there yet. It should be in here to help write a new prompt. And by the way, guys, if you'll see these little breaks, if you've been to, like, you see how the text is outside the box, if you'll hit Command R on your browsers, what that is that as we're updating and deploying new stuff, if you've been to that page before, it's already cached in your system. And so to make it faster, it's caching it, right? And so if you see that happen, just flash a Command R and it will set it back in there. And it will be like that anytime you come back now. You don't have to worry about it being broken anymore. It's always there because it's recached it. And that's kind of what happens. And this will be less because your cache goes after, 48 hours. It resets anyway. But if you see that, just a quick flash on that while we're still pushing up a lot of updates. Let's say you were in Spy, though, and you wanted to do it in Spy. You can see down in Spy now we have lots of different options in this bottom right. And here's my Ruby assistant that I can drop in, and I can use any of that stuff going on there. You can also see a way that you can go get some better saved content. This is going to be linked into your legacy content. So if you have content that's already created in the past, you'll also find that there inside of the way of loading this. Now, my account doesn't have anything. This is a new account, so I don't have anything there. But if you had some content that you wanted to load, you would be able to do that right from here by just loading the action to import that in. And you could use that now to run your spy audit and to humanize the content. Also, learn more. Make sure you understand all about what goes on with your readabilities and stuff like that. There's several of these learn mores passed around. While I'm here, I'm just going to go through the rest of the updates that were pushed out. It's in the Flex connection, a list of all of them. But one of the things that was fixed was a bug for some of the modules. So right now, all the modules are working. And you'll also see that when you load up, there's a list of all the modules so that you can see them all if you want to scroll through them, or you can go through in the collections and you can start to sort them out. You can also do all this search modules. And the one thing you'll be able to do up here too is that if you'll have your favorites. So just to the right, and we'll have this up early in the week. If you want your favorites, you'll click it and it'll just load up your favorite modules that you use. So you'll be able to get to your favorites, because one of the things you can do is you can mark them favorites, right? And so when I can mark my favorite, then I can just recall that back up when I go back into getting into my collections. All that's working now, so that's a new bonus. One more thing that's really cool that I'm excited about is, I love Claude. So Claude 3, Opus, Sonnet, Haiku, all three of these are now, if you look at this little icons, they're all vision enabled, which means that you can upload images and you can then query against the image. But you'll also now see that they're anchoring enabled. If you're not familiar with anchoring, what anchoring is, it's Ruby's way of doing RAG. And if you don't know what RAG is, I will suggest that you all go look up RAG AI. It will explain to you, but essentially it's a way of getting trusted material to be the source for whatever you're trying to create. And if you look inside of Claude or inside of Command, the anchoring now is filled, and you can use stuff to go and query against. So you can use a PDF file, you could use a URL that's specific, that is trusted information. You can just put that website in, and the information on that site is then what's going to be used in your prompting. Now, one more fix that was pushed out. I don't have any prompts saved in here, but if you have prompts, your prompts will show down here from your saved prompts. And then you'll also be able to pull those right back up. And when you do, it'll actually have your preferred prompt change up here. So you'll be loaded in. I guess I probably should have done a different account that had some of these prompts in there. But anytime you create a prompt, it'll load it up there. Let me just do one real quick. Image prompt. Or I'll do a lyrics prompt. And I'll use Haiku for this. And I'm going to put it in my default project. Okay, and so my prompt is write lyrics. I'll use this because I'm getting ready to go into this here in a second. So write lyrics for a song based on this genre and style. And then I'll have it enter my genre and style. You guys can write your prompts however you want to. I'm gonna add it to my favorites as well. So now I'm gonna go ahead and create this prompt. As my prompt is saved here, I've chosen my preferred model that I want to use for that. I can always go back and edit it, by pulling it in there. But if I go into IntelliChat, what I'll do if I'm in that project, which I used it in my default project, if I go back to my prompts, you'll see my prompt is there now. Now you'll see that Claude 3.5 Sonnet is what's chosen in the model right now, and there's nothing down in my prompt box. If I just click on the lyrics, you see now I'm in Haiku, and I have it down here so I can go in and put, let's say, pop and modern, and now I can go and just use that to go ahead and create whatever it is that I'm looking to do. Okay, so that's how prompts work. There you have different ways. Favorites are at the top, and then everything else is down below. You can have as many of those as you want, and you can connect those into your projects because that's a way of keeping everything separate. Okay, and doing all that stuff. Anything new? So anyway, super excited about having. Now we have 5 different anchoring enabled options inside of here that you can use. All right, so if you haven't also figured out, Video Lab is available, and now you can go in and create video, and it's it's 5 seconds in clips. That's what's available right now. This is using Luma Labs Dream Machine to go in and do this. If you're using Chrome, you have a really cool player in here that actually allows you to do some playback speeds. So like for most people, when they're using AI right now, they're extending out the clips using slower motion, which you'll be able to do that in Canvas Plus. Okay, and you can go out and do all kinds of cool stuff with it. And so I can get a 5-second clip to 10 seconds really easy by doing the playback speeds. But you can go in and make incredible stuff. The gallery works the exact same way. Okay, so what this does is you actually will put 4 of them down here. And here's the other thing, it's multitasking. So it does take about 2 minutes or so to create the video. So you don't have to sit there and wait. You'll put in your prompt, you'll hit generate, and it actually will have a rendering. And I'll go ahead and just do it here. I say a woman on street with a pan. I'll just do with a pan following the x-axis. Okay, just something stupid. Okay, you can be creative again. You have your prompt. You can go and do whatever you want to here, right? Help will be there to help you write it. So you can also upload an image. Like if you had an image, I actually probably should have done this. Let me find something here. I can use. I'll do this one. All right, let's do this. If I have an image, I can actually just tell it to do something to that image, right? So do a slow pan move around character. So that's all I'm putting on the prompt. Now, when I hit generate into the video, this is the cool thing. It's going to let me know that my image has been uploaded. It's also telling me now that the video is rendering, and I can go and continue to do whatever I want. I can actually go and make another one. But if you look down at the bottom, in the recent videos, you'll see that there is a rendering happening. It tells you which it is by the prompt that you put in. And now you can go on in your business and it will let you know when it's finished. Okay. And you can have 4 of these. This is all your recent stuff that just happened to be down here. It's a drawer that you can slide, or you can go into your recents or into your gallery up here. And again, just like it is in the images, you can come in and then you can start to play with it and have the same players here. And just you can scroll through them left and right if you want to see them a little bit bigger. So that's kind of how it all functions inside of here. And it's great that you get to be able to do this. All right.